Jazz is visiting her sister Laura, who has moved to England. She tells Jazz that she has planned an entire weekend filled with adventure, and they're going to have the time of their life. They reach a remote cabin in the middle of nowhere. Laura asks her to get ready as soon as possible, as they're going to go for hiking. They start their hike, and after a midpoint, Laura stops to smoke. Jazz says that she should try to quit it. On their way back, Laura says that they should race and takes off. Jazz follows, but fails to catch up to her. They come out for bath and start to put on their clothes. But just then a car full of men comes there. The gang stops, and they come out one by one. Jazz starts to panic as they make suggestive remarks. The leader, Randy, tries to provoke them, and Laura answers back. Jazz tells her that they should go, and both of them leave immediately. Soon, the men get in their car and leave as well. Jazz is panicking, and Laura asks about what's happening. She says that she has started taking self-defense classes after getting out of an abusive relationship and slowly getting better. Laura takes out the necklace that her father gave her and gives it to Laura, saying that she feels proud of her. In the evening, as they are preparing dinner, Laura says that she accidentally dropped the wine in the sink. She asked Jazz to drive and get them some drinks. Jazz is worried about leaving her there alone, but she says that she can take care of herself and will be done with cooking by the time she gets back. She then takes her car and drives out. But soon after, another car reaches the house. Laura is startled to think that Jazz is back already. But it's that group of men. They forcefully enter the house and lock the door behind them. All the guys laugh menacingly as Laura shivers in horror. Randy says that they wanted to check on the girls who are staying all alone, but Laura gets agitated and cusses him out. Jazz is done with her shopping and takes off. Randy asks if the other girl is coming back, but Laura lies and says that they had an argument and she left. She says that one of their friends is coming to pick her up, but Randy knows it's bullshit. On her way back, Jazz has a bad feeling and calls Laura. Randy sees it and cuts the call. He says they thought that the girls were a lesbian couple, but they turn out to be sisters. All the men gather around her. Randy asks her to submit to them, and they will leave. But she breaks his nose. She then picks a knife and stabs a man in the leg. She is about to attack another guy, but Randy shoots her dead. All of them are scared as they didn't want this to happen. But Randy asks them to get rid of the body and call him once Jazz arrives. Everyone leaves from there, leaving Kent behind. Jazz finally reaches home and feels unsettled. She opens the door and, to her horror, discovers her sister's dead body. She breaks down in tears as she has lost the only person she had in this world. Just then, she hears a sound and goes into hiding. Kent comes out with a shovel to bury her body. He goes to grab a beer and feels someone's presence there, but doesn't find anyone. He then sits on a sofa as Jazz watches him, filled with rage. She picks up a knife, and it makes a sound. Kent gets alerted, but doesn't do anything about it. She then slowly approaches from behind and stabs him in the neck. She then butchers him with a knife and makes a promise that she is going to get her revenge. She grabs a knife and sharpens it. She washes the blood off her hand and gets ready to fight. She drags away her sister's body and puts on the necklace. She then goes to the barn and grabs all the weapons that she can. Randy is sitting inside his car, tending to his broken nose. The rest of the gang members are counting their money so they can flee. One of them says that they should have simply run away with the stolen money, but another guy says that they can't rationalize it with Randy. They say that Kent was supposed to call back an hour ago, but still hasn't. The group decides to flee without Randy, but one of them says that they aren't going to do that. The injured guy gets up and says that he's going to take a leak. He reaches the other side of the barn, but doesn't know that Jazz is just behind him. The moment he turns, she stabs him with the garden scissors. She then stabs him multiple times and completely annihilates him. She then takes the chainsaw and approaches the other men. They try to calm her down, but she takes off their limbs one by one. She jabs the chainsaw inside Harry and smashes his guts. Randy is sitting inside the car, completely clueless. She's attacked by another guy, but she overpowers him. They try to use every tactic, but she is a master in self-defense and kills them one by one. But soon the noises alert Randy. She takes an axe and takes off the last guy. Randy is left horrified by seeing the carnage. He attempts to use his gun, but she takes it off. She tries to attack him with an axe, but he flees from there. She then takes a gun and shoots the last guy. He is walking in the middle of the road when a car approaches him. Inside sit his group members Lewis, Dave, and Jacob. He gets inside their car and drives off. Jazz watches them from the woods and follows them. They reach the cabin and approach her car. They break open her bonnet and find a bunch of equipment. Randy gets inside the car and finds her passport. He keeps it and asks his men to puncture the tires so that she doesn't have a way out. Lewis says that he told Jacob about it. Randy says that it was not needed, but Lewis says that he is a powerful man who can help track down the girl. Jazz tries to listen to them better, but makes a noise. The group gets alerted and slowly starts to approach the woods. She sits behind the trees, holding her breath. Randy says that he accidentally killed her sister as she didn't want to be friends with him. He says that if she submits to him, then he'll let her leave. She slowly grabs a rock, and the moment he turns, she smacks his head with it. Everyone runs behind her, but she hides. She throws a rock on the other end, and the men run. But she accidentally bumps into Lewis, and he begs and says that he will help her as he doesn't want to die. She knocks him out with the gun and runs away. Randy goes there and asks him about Jazz, but Lewis says that he didn't see her as he accidentally fell down. Jazz reaches her car, but it's of no use. She sits inside and gathers courage to accomplish her mission. The rest of the three guys are lounging inside the cabin. Randy comes and asks if they have found the body, but they say that they haven't. He says that they need to find it anyhow if they want to get out of the mess. Jazz runs through the woods, but gets tired. She remembers what Laura taught her and gathers all her courage back. The guys are digging a grave. She comes from behind and knocks out Dave. She takes out her gun, but Randy says that he has already told his cop friends about her. Lewis approaches from behind and disarms her, and they knock her out. She wakes up inside the bed with her hands tied together. She sees that there are none inside the room and tries to free herself. She opens a drawer and finds a nail filer. She tries to cut open the ties using it and manages to free herself. The men are engaged in a banter downstairs, thinking that they have things under control. Just then, Lewis decides to check on her. She hears some footsteps approaching and lies on the bed, pretending to still be unconscious. He reaches the room and finds her asleep. He says that he thought that she was going to actually shoot him. He then sits next to her and says that she is a really beautiful woman. She grabs the filer even tightly. He then turns her body and tries to force himself on her. He covers her mouth, but before he can do anything, she stabs him. Dave and Charlie hear muffled noises and go upstairs. They eavesdrop and think that Lewis might be having fun with her. But inside, she slowly puts his life to an end. She then opens the door and kicks Dave downstairs. Charlie lunges at her, and they get into an altercation. Dave has accidentally been stabbed in the leg. He takes out the filer and tries to climb up the stairs. Jazz breaks a vase on Charlie's head, but he is too strong. He overpowers her. She soon uses one of her moves and choke holds him till he loses his life. Before she can get back up, Dave shoots her in the shoulder and starts to smash her head. She elbows him in the groin and uses an alarm clock to smash him to oblivion. She gets down from the stairs but sits down. Her body is slowly leaving her side. But just then, she hears Laura's voice and she decides to resume her mission. She goes to the washroom and tends to her wound. She puts some alcohol on the gunshot and takes out the bullet. Soon after, Randy comes with Jacob and two other men. Jacob asks him not to worry about the nose, as he knows a plastic surgeon. They get inside the house, and Jacob asks about the other men. Randy says that he isn't sure about what happened to them. Jacob says that this chaos isn't good for their business, but Randy says that he has it under control. Both of them get inside the room, but it's empty. They hear noises of gas leaking, and Jazz locks the door behind them. Randy is about to shoot it, but Jacob says that it's going to cause an explosion. The other three men are outside, but worry why the guys aren't coming out. One of the guys gets inside to check out. Randy tries to open the door, but it's of no help. The room is filling with gas, making it difficult for them to breathe. The man gets inside the house, but it's empty. He hears a noise coming from the cupboard and opens it to check it. But Jazz knocks him out with a metal rod and tears off his neck, which puts an end to him. Randy knocks the door even louder, and the other hear it. They get inside, but Jazz is standing there with the gun. She warns them not to step ahead, but they do anyway. She has run out of bullets, so she smacks him with the gun. She then breaks a vase on the other guy, and he faunts. The guy gets up and lunges at him. They both get into a fight, but one grabs her from behind. But she is mad with rage and slowly puts them down one by one. She then stabs one of the men and takes pleasure in seeing his life slipping away slowly. The room is filled with gas, but just then, Jacob finds a pin and uses it to unlock the door. But Randy's lungs are filled with the gas, and he slowly faints. Jazz gets up to catch a breath, but Jacob tases her from behind. He then puts a collar on her and drags her around the house. He asks her to be a good dog and follow him to the car. She refuses, but he tases her again. Having no other choice, she follows him. But soon she gains her strength and takes the chain from his hand. She uses it to disarm him, and they get into an altercation. but he is too strong to handle, and she is exhausted from all that she has been through. But soon she tases him and shoves his head in the sink. Randy gets downstairs, accidentally shoots Jacob. Jazz seizes the opportunity and runs out. Randy comes out with a gun, but she drives him over with the car. He is injured but manages to run away as she chases him. She shoots him in the shoulder, and he falls. But before she can finish him off, he knocks her down. He then drags her by the hair and beats her black and blue. She tries to reach for her gun, but it's of no help. He then says that he killed her sister a little too quickly, but is going to make her death painful. He then starts to choke her. She recalls all the moments she had with her sister and remembers how she always taught her to fight back. She soon grabs her necklace and jabs it in his throat. He lets her go in pain. She then stabs him multiple times to take out her anger. He begs her to stop and says that he can give her all the money in the world. She stops and takes out the cigarette from his pocket. She lights it and says that now he will have the time to ask her sister for forgiveness. She slowly starts to smoke, and he soon dies. She then pours gasoline over his body and sets him on fire. The next morning, she sits by Laura's body and drinks. She then takes out the necklace and puts it on. So, that was the recap for the 2025 movie A Woman Scorned. For more recaps like this, stay subscribed to the channel. And if you have liked this video, you may also like this.